Okay, so to explain why things are going to be a bit gammy today, I have wrenched my arm in the workshop, so I don't have the use of my left arm, which means to go through this walkthrough I'm going to have to use the mouse with my right hand. Then when I want to move, I'm going to have to go and use my right hand on the movement keys. So bear with me, but you know, for just imparting information it should be good enough. Swiftwater. First point is fucking horrible for defenders. What I have seen most teams doing is not even bothering to defend it, because the second point is a really good hold, and on this first point I haven't seen a good sentry spot at all. Like, just any defence goes down really fast, you know, unless you're kind of going to roll the other team and then whatever. What I have seen is there is an interesting thing an NG can do with a rescue ranger from here. He can have a sentry gun in the building over there, and there is a line of sight which goes all the way over here. Just give me a second. So you can kind of have the gun, like, I think it's sitting somewhere around here. You go through that window and then through that crack in that window there, and you can have the gun here shooting onto the cart until you want to wrangle it back to the corridor. I'm a bit dubious though, it seems dodgy, but you know, maybe worth investigating. What you see happen in a lot of lobbies and stuff is people have the gun there, or they'll have the gun in the house, or they'll have the gun over here, and they'll try and keep the combo back here. But keeping the combo back here, there is just nothing to stop jumpers. There's nothing to stop like sticky spam. Like, if they take down your sniper, then what are you going to do about their sniper? There's just not much in the way of options. So what teams have been doing is maybe having your demo and soldier on that roof, maybe having sniper out and about in there. But some teams have been playing with a corridor hold with a sentry just up there. I don't think that's brilliant either. If people react to it correctly, it won't stay up for very long at all. But it can vaguely work. So yeah, I don't know if there's a good thing. What some teams have been doing is keeping their sentry gun up on point 2, like through there, if you see what I mean. I don't know if I'm looking at the right place. But yeah, just like, because the sentry gun isn't much good on the first point, but the sentry gun is amazing if you get it up early on the second. But I mean, to talk through what you're going to do is, if your NG or team is hell-bent on having the gun at the front here, then what you're going to end up doing is probably camping around the dispenser here and kind of mainly watching the skies and making sure you don't get camped. I wouldn't advise it, but hey-ho. I've seen some with the sentry gun in the building doing like a reverse hold. I mean, there's some good cover to use here. Like, if people are pushing the cart up there and you're like down off this side, then this is amazing to shoot off of. Got a really good field of fire onto the cart, whatever, but again, not massively useful. It's worth kind of knowing your way around inside the house, like the drop down onto the big health kit, but I wouldn't, you know, go crazy over it. It's not actually that useful. What else would you need to know defending this point? If you're doing a corridor hold, then you're probably going to end up kind of hanging around here. Try not to get sniped. Try and support your soldiers from jumpers. You can put out dings on people, but again, kind of pretty pointless. Like, a lot of what you'll be doing is just waiting till you actually do the corridor hold. If the corridor hold is happening, then you're probably going to end up kind of quite far back on a dispenser, just kind of making people want to stay back. The trick with the corridor hold, is to be aggressive with it. Like, as soon as you get an Uber, you need to pop out onto them, hopefully get their med. But again, very, very difficult to get a solid hold here. There may be some mileage for having like the gun back further in the corridor somewhere, but I haven't seen it used effectively. What a lot of teams have been doing is, okay, the hole on this second point has changed a lot. What used to be the case was you'd have the kind of gun up there shooting down. But I really don't rate that these days. The hold that I've seen working to great effect is you have the gun. Oops, Jesus, these stairs are difficult to navigate with one arm. Okay, you have the gun either in this doorway or like out on this platform, and then you're kind of holding the other one, if you see what I mean. So, okay, the principle of this defense is this is a real hard point to crack if you've got this upstairs area here. So it doesn't really matter if they come out of there. It doesn't help, because up here you can just like rain death down upon the cart, and they need to wipe out a lot of people before they can claim it. Snipers coming out of main is something you've got to watch for on this hold, but what they're going to have to do is try and crack it. Now a lot of teams will try and...
You just cut out.
Did I just cut out? Okay, let me put it on continuous talk, in fact, because fuck it. Configure? Sorry, just give me a second. Continuous, okay. I should now never ever cut out unless something like that happens. Okay. And you'll hear all the creaking of the chair. Glorious. Yeah, they're going to try and push out of here. They'll probably have to have an Uber. What your NG might do is pick up the gun and get it out of the way. You're probably going to have someone kind of up front in here. If you get the spy to go round, he can open this door for you and you can actually take a location out on there, although it's a little bit dodgy. But yeah, what you're doing up here is you're denying these windows as an option for the defenders to snipe onto cart or snipe your people. So this whole area you are claiming. You'll normally have your flank over that side doing whatever they need to do. You can call your sniper to be where he needs to be. What you've got to look out for as heavy is if you get snipers in main or snipers inside. You've got to watch out for that a lot. Also, spy decloaking around here. There are a lot of areas for spies to decloak. Like back here is a favourite, just in that corner. Yeah, like over this side. Oh, one thing you should definitely know here. It doesn't look obvious with this rock, but you can just walk up it. Oops, if I can hit it. Just walk up here and... yeah, there you go. So that's worth knowing. You don't have to fuck around trying to jump that or anything. The problem with the gun here is you'll get snipers up in that window, so you kind of need to hold down that space anyway if you want to hold it. I mean, their entire combo can go up there and just rain down death upon this point, which is pretty bad. Also, people can just come out of here, and unless you've got a really hard lockdown, it's just, you know, shooting the gun from here is a piece of cake. It's just nothing. Yeah. And also, from there, the gun doesn't even cover the cart that well, because if someone's on the other side of the cart, they can just walk it in. So, yeah. Although that spot is still used, I don't rate it too much. And in fact, even if you're having the sentry gun on that location, for my money, you still want to have the combo up top there. Stuff about working this top area. Just turn around. Being down on the stairs here is pretty cool for people coming through the doors. Although again, you want to watch out for spies decloaking behind you and such. Spies also like to decloak down there. There's a world of places for spies to decloak around here. If an Uber comes through there and you're not ready and you just need to run like hell, then that corner I just talked about, spies decloaking just here, that's a great place for you to hide. Don't touch the walls because your shadow will show through. But if you just get in that corner and their combo comes out through this door, they'll probably, you know, go, oh, there's no one here. Check down here, no one there. Clear out this area and start walking out this way with the Uber, whereupon you are just in a beautiful ambush little spot back there, so that's worth thinking about. Please. Am I going to be able to jump over here? There is a jump round onto there, completely fucking useless but kind of awesome. Yeah. There's various little ledges around here that you can use, but yeah. Can I even run that? Huh, yeah, you can run it. You don't even need to jump. I don't know why you'd find this useful, but whatever. It's worth knowing. What else about defending this point? Be aware of this health pack here. That can be a very nice drop down to pick that up if you're in need of health desperately. As ever, high ground here is to your advantage. If you have to drop down onto cart to defend it, then do. But you don't want to stay down there. Like, being up here just gives you lots of options. Like, people can't shoot down onto you and stuff. But once you're down there, you're kind of committed to that, so yeah, something to think about. You don't really want to get trapped over there in that house. There's nowhere to retreat if they start taking the point, and it can just be generally quite bad. But yeah, general thing on this point is if you lock down this area here and don't let them come out of it without paying a hideous price, then wherever your sentry gun is, you can do quite well out of that. Yeah, that's about it for this point. Next point. There is again, so this point changed a lot since the last version. the old sentry gun spot. Oh god, this is painful navigating without using the mouse. Okay, so the old spot for heavies to chill out was, oh Christ, I can't even do this, was up here. And this was pretty cool because people coming out of this side passage down here, you're kind of on top of, and you could even shoot down this side. What's changed is you've got this whole corridor up here, so that makes holding here a little bit dodgy. If you've got a good flank that can successfully hold up there, then having sentry gun up here and you working this area is still kind of cool.
You can easily get sniped there on the roof.
Yes, if you have a flank working over there and holding it, then it's a great place to do. If your flank isn't holding it, it's going to be fucking terrible. I wouldn't even worry so much about getting sniped. It's stuff like direct hit soldiers. They'll just dislodge you and, you know, it becomes a very unsafe place. Other places to hold. I've seen people kind of holding behind these barriers in whatever configuration. Dodgy, not brilliant. You can hold slightly in this room over here. You can make the jump into this window. That's worth noting. It can be pretty damn useful. Like if their combos pushing through this side passage and you make the jump into that window and you get behind them, it's fucking hilarious. They won't notice you. They'll wonder where you've disappeared, assume you've dropped down, but actually you're behind them, which is kind of amusing. But if you're in there, I can't show you because I can't jump there with one hand. You've got to watch out for being sniped through the big long corridor that heads from the top there down into this building, because that can be a bit dodgy. A popular one that's been happening recently, which again I can't show you because it's all shut off, is you kind of hold the combo in this room here. And what that does is it shuts off the flank getting in from the kind of second door that opens over there. This is terrible, I can't even show you half of this shit. Oh well, that's alright.
Do you want the no clip for a second?
Yeah, that's
yeah, sure, hit on no clip and I'll fly around for a bit. One-handed no clip, what could possibly go wrong? Yeah, so, okay, in this area, Christ, this is even harder to navigate, because, wait, oh, I'm in there, oh, it's turned off, okay, fine, cool. Yeah, you can kind of hold in here, yeah, jump in spec if you want to see what I'm doing here. So, they'll be coming through this door, and that's a one-way door, which is a little bit dodgy, but say you get that sticked up, and you end up holding kind of around this area. I'm not saying it's not dodgy as hell, but it's a very aggressive hold. You can come through this corridor, and when you're through this corridor, you can kind of harass them when they're coming through this area. And you've also got a very nice escape route kind of out of this window, because this area around here should 100% be held by your team. So this is actually a viable escape route, unless they've got a sniper looking down like that track, but that shouldn't happen too much. So holding in here, harassing people who are coming through that door up there. Then you can also harass people coming through this door. What you have to hold here though is really good comms and have your entire combo just always with their eyes out, working out where the threat is coming from. But then again, you can always retreat through that door down there and you should be pretty much completely safe just to get out in that way. Yeah. What I would say is with the windows, the kind of weird octagonal windows, always like practice jumping into them because they're actually really weird to jump into. On the last point in particular, you want to do that a lot, so yeah. Worth knowing, you can jump up here. You'll use that sometimes. Be aware of when the doors close here, because that is a big factor. Oh, one thing you might want to think about as just a little trick is if you're building, say, a teleporter to the second spot, this is something to tell your NG or whatever, don't build your telly outside of gate 1 because spies can go to gate 1 and blow up your telly. Like, build your telly just outside gate 4. Like, no spy is going to walk all the way to last to kill a teleport entrance. And if the comms are good with your team, then the entrance will be up there. You can teleport to whichever point it is you're defending just by running through this door, and the spy will never ever take out your tele entrance unless he is the most persistent, tenacious spy in the history of man. You can't open that door. Have they fixed that? Because I'm pretty sure you could last time I played it. If they fixed that, then yeah, don't do that. Maybe that is a dead thing now. So wait, do they all just have the old no-go sign on them now? Wait a second, that can't be right, because all of the locked doors are locked in this map. In fact, start the config. I want to see if this is ready. So wait, F4, ready. Could someone just jump on 2 and ready up, blue and ready up? This is actually quite relevant. We'll see if we can get through there once the game begins.
3, 2, 1.
I'm willing to be proven wrong, but I must be
Yeah,
proven
I found
wrong.
a sandwich.
Yay. Can you get through here? Yeah, you can totally get through all these ones. This is on at point 3. And wait, which is the point 5 one? Yeah, it's over there. Aha! I feel vindicated! So yeah, but you build an entrance through there, and you can get to any point you like, and your entrance won't get capped, which is nice. Okay, let's talk about point 4. Is it point 4? Yeah, it is. This is one of the big ones. So, you've hopefully retreated into this area in good time. Now, the best defense, and I haven't seen any other viable defense on this point, is when the gun is slightly in this dip, talk to your NG about where it should be. There's this real sweet point where it shoots people that are coming out of there, it shoots people that are coming out of there, and it catches jumpers as well. So it means that if the gun's in the sweet spot, I don't know exactly where it is, you kind of end up holding quite far forwards here and just denying this area in front of the cart. Whenever a sniper turns up, you get the fuck out, obviously. Let your other people deal with that, but this bit of cover's great. You've got a health pack there. If they get a dispenser there, it's great too. You can't be sniped from the house over there, which is always a problem. And you can just kind of lock down this area down here really, really nicely. Like normally, this would be a really dodgy area because it's kind of quite out in the open and because of jumpers. But because your NG won't be wrangling most of the time because his gun's in the sweet spot, it means that anything coming over will just start getting shot. And if you're actually looking here, you should have a really good kind of like notice. Sorry, for when jumpers start coming in. Watch out for these trees. They're fucking horrible. You can't see a damn thing through them. So yeah, I mean, you can duck and kind of see what's going on, but they're basically a pain in the ass, these trees. They infuriate me massively. Yeah, I've seen some heavies coming quite far forwards and defending on top of here. Can I even jump up there with one hand? No. Yeah, you can look down over there. This is incredibly difficult. Can I even... Yeah. Okay, wait. No. I fucked up. Yeah, okay, I'm up here. Okay, yeah, so, I mean, defending from up here, you've actually got some quite nice cover. Again, though, as soon as a sniper turns up, you need to bail. But, yeah, if you're doing a forward hold on this point, it can be pretty cool. Just, you know, run when things start getting a bit hairy. This spot is pretty cool because once it starts to go down, you can kind of retake it. Like, if you have... Oh, Christ. If you have lost... If you've lost control of this area here, and the enemy have it, then what you can do is, fighting from this slope here, using this cover, is actually pretty sweet. It's very hard to splash you with rockets here, and your fire arc's pretty cool, so... Yep, that's worth a look. So yeah, always think about retaking this point, because it can definitely be done. Although, I mean, again, don't burn out before last. If you don't know your way around the ventilation system really well, I highly recommend you learning that, because it's well worthwhile piece of knowledge. Jumping in through this window, can I do this one-handed? Nope. You can jump in through that window, just take my word for it. So getting into that side passage is useful. Okay, defending last. We'll talk about attacking this later, but yeah, defending last. There's a number of good spots to have used defending last. Quite often you'll find yourself working out of this doorway, just kind of either locking down this area to the right. If you're locking down this area over here, then be aware of people coming through here. There's a lot of crazy hiding spots in here, like there's loads of little places around here that soldiers can jump up to and kind of hang out on. And yeah, also if you're defending this area, be very wary of people coming and shooting from down there, because that's a really nice angle for them. Another place you often hang out as heavy, I mean, it depends how fluid your defense here is or what, you know, things you want. Coming out here, like you can hose people here and then run away again. And if you've kind of got, you know, a decent combo up here, maybe just like Pyro, Medic and you, then with the health pack here and the ammo, you can hold this area quite heavily. And you can even come here and put damage down onto cart. Although,
Just let me reload the config.
Yeah, go for it. Although,
Here it is.
Again, work out jumping out these windows, because it's really bad if you haven't worked out how to jump out these windows first time every time, and there's someone on the cart and you want to jump down and get them and you're jumping out a window. It's just embarrassing, essentially. Not good. Other cool shit which you should know on this last point. There is... This thing here is really good for standing on and shooting folk. Can I do a duck jump with one hand? No, I can't. Fuck it. Yeah, if you stand on there... Oh God, I'm going to try it just so the viewers can see. Okay, that's duck. That's... fuck. I'm like a cripple right now. Oh God. You can jump in the window from there, but that's not as useful as shooting through the window. If there are combos in there, you've got amazing cover and you can do a lot of damage. Wait, okay, I'm going to get it this time. Let me just line up properly. Okay, I'm lined up. I'm going to push forwards. Yes. Yeah, so, yeah, shooting in at a heavy who's in there, they will not be expecting this angle for either of these two places. And you can put in an awful lot of damage if you're clever about it. Also, if people are running in on the cart... Oh, can I do this jump? Let's try it. Yes. Being up here can be really cool. People do not expect a heavy to be shooting them directly from above. And that can be nice. What else about this point? One thing, okay, so for the general thing of defending this point, you want to have a really nicely set up defense. If things get a bit hand to mouth, then things always go badly. Like, once you're kind of either standing on the cart down there in front of a pit, or once you're hiding behind these barrels, then shit has gone really bad, and you don't want to stay down there for any length of time. But then again, you kind of have to watch out for spies decloaking on the cart and shit, so yeah, there's not a great solution. Holding this side passage can be vaguely plausible, although you're going to get splashed out and you're going to have to run very quickly, so yeah, bear that in mind. Let's get out here again. I think that's probably largely it. Yeah, you generally want to be... Oh, God damn it, I fell off again.
Read a tally, it goes over directly.
Oh, yeah, that'd be clever, wouldn't it? Too clever, I don't like it. What else is useful to know on this point? Jumping on those bollards, generally not that useful. This staircase over here kind of can be quite useful. Like fighting off this point, there's a health pack here, so you know, if you end up holding down this top right area on your own, then this is plausible to play out of here. And again, you can shoot down on the cart. General rules of high ground apply, that you always want to be up top, and if you jump down, if you have to do it, but then get back up top as fast as possible, because if you're heavy in a pit, then you're going to die, in general. Whereas if you've got the high ground, movement options and all that jazz. There are times that I've held this corridor with the medic. Again, you can shoot down onto the cart a little bit, you can try and fight your way into this area, although again, lots of nice decloaking areas and little ambush spots around here, so be aware of that stuff. Yeah, and I think that's normally about it. I mean, your gun is going to be, sometimes the gun's up there on the ledge, sometimes the gun's here. But yeah, you're very much playing just like an area control, either stopping people getting up here, making this kind of whole top area up here really uncomfortable. Because if the enemy control this area, then your gun's going to go down and they are shooting fish in a barrel onto the last point to push it for that last bit. But if you're controlling this area up here, it really limits kind of where they can attack from. Essentially, they've got to either use the trench or use the trench. So yeah, they're not going to like that. Yeah, that's pretty much defense. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, really. Like, it's surprisingly how straightforward defense on Swiftwater is. Just because it seems there's not that many options. Like, attacking, that's where stuff is really complicated. So let's jump over to blue. Okay, so usual rules apply. In spawn, you could fuck around, jumping a lot and chatting to your friends and looking at hats, but you could also look to see where their demo is, if their sniper's gone into the house, where stickies are, if there's a spy anywhere. If you saw a enemy class run across, and then they disappeared, and you're thinking, is that a spy? Who knows, might be a spy. Attacking this point, you've got a couple of options as heavy. The distances are quite long, so it's not great to attack. You can come out and keep the cart moving. Depending on how they're defending, if they're doing a hard defense here, then you can push the cart and get close. I wouldn't advise moving up here without the cart, because crossing this area without any cover, if they've got people on that ledge and stuff, it's a great place to die. What you should be very aware of, oh god, what am I doing, is coming around this way. There's a jump here which is really fucking useful. I'm not even going to try it with only one hand, but jumping onto there and then jumping around to that side. For like an early assault as heavy, this can be really quite cool. So wait, let's just get up here and I'll kind of show you. So, I mean, this works for if they're doing a hold up here or if they're doing a kind of corridor hold. If you basically get heavy up here with a bit of support, then if they're holding over there, then you're cutting off their reinforcements and you're giving them a problem. They're going to have to bring people off to pay attention to you, which if the rest of your team is pressurising is great. If they're doing a corridor hold, then, you know, you can work these boxes. If I can jump onto them, I can't, fuck it. You can work these boxes and yeah, you kind of got a good angle on keeping them in there. What other stuff to think about when you're attacking here? If you're tracking this side, you can be tempted to think that shooting from here can be quite good because of the cover. It's not. It just doesn't get you kills. If there's people up there being fucking oblivious, then yeah, attacking from here is plausible. If not, I wouldn't even bother. Coming around this corner, again, there's some cover to be had here, but it's not great. Normally, you'll just be pushing around once your team's kind of taking the space. It's much more up to other players than you to push on this particular part. If they're doing a corridor hold over there, then you have a number of options. You can either come from that side and pressure, or I mean, you can as soon as possible get round to here and start harassing people from this cover in here. Which, you know, if the gun isn't shooting you or you can edge it and stuff, then that's a viable way of attacking a gun in there. But in general, you'll be waiting for either your demo to splash lots of people out or for the Uber to go in, which you should be part of. Yeah. As soon as first point is gone, for my money, you want to rush to that top door, like as fast as possible. If you can take that top area, then it's essentially just really goddamn useful. We can't get in there right now, can we? Nope, that's fine. We'll go around.
Walk around.
Yeah.
Do you want the no clip again?
No, it's cool. We'll walk.
Now, Rusky, quick question about
Yes.
first point. I've been meaning to ask this. You
Shoot.
said something about like the sentry at the rescue ranger in the first house.
Yeah.
What would everyone else be doing? Is that some kind of an adaptation of having your combo hold in the house?
I think
like
it
some
would
people
essentially
doing
be a caves hold, but with some additional bullshit at the beginning to fake them out.
Okay, so the gun is just there and you have it there for like a second, so the retention.
You have it there. Well, okay, right. You might have some people at this end. Now, I'd say as heavy, you probably don't want to be up here, because if you get killed here, there's going to be no corridor hold for you, caves hold even, and you might not even get up to those top rooms, which would be really, really sad. Although, I mean, again, it's one of those things, if your team wants to experiment with, like, holding this really, really hard, then they totally can. I just don't think there's that much mileage to it. I think it's a bit of a gimmicky thing. I wouldn't, like, massively recommend it. But, I mean, play around with it. Try it in scrim. See if you can, like, get some kind of gimmick tactics that give you an extra few minutes on this point, because it's a bad point. Like, any time you can get on this is grand, because, yeah. I mean, if you can out-DM the opposition, then sure. Keep your combo out here and just rock it for ages. But against, like, equal teams, it's too much of a risk. Like, the probability of you getting rolled on this point and then not having a good hold on second is quite big, like, because their fast classes can just rush through so quickly once it's capped. It's also worth noting that the cap point's back here and that opens up the flank route, so if you're like fighting right until the cap goes, as soon as that cap goes, they have that flank up to getting like into the middle of your second defense. And if you're not already set up there, then you're not going to get set up there, you know, essentially. So yeah, you generally don't want to be pushing out down here. If your team's controlled space, then that's fine. Pushing out of main, this is a great place for you to die, would not recommend it. Coming out of the right side over here, better. Depending on where they are, you can get closer. Again, if they're doing the top rooms hold, then if you come out here, you're not going to be doing a whole lot. You're going to maybe get to fight some flankers and get a load of spam put on you. What you probably want to practice is coming in through this top door and how to fight this area. Attacking a strong defense here is actually really difficult, but it's quite hard to, like, this point. I mean, the reason I like the gun up here is it's really hard to attack. Like, where do you attack from? You could start spamming from down here. Like, if you get, say, okay, on attack, if your soldiers and snipers and all that jazz are kind of down in these and they're spamming and they control this area, then you can push the cart through and force them to drop down into a bad position. But if your flank is kind of on top of that, then the defenders shouldn't have too much of a problem. So, okay, if you're attacking through here, one thing that's important if you're, say, demo, heavy and medic are kind of probing through here, trying to get the opposition, is have someone hold the door open. If you commit your combo and your heavy to this top room on attack, and the door shuts behind you, then you're fucked. Like, unless you actually get out here and control this space, you're going to be trapped in here and you're going to die, which is bad. Say you're rushing from second point and you manage to control this area, this is fine. You don't actually need to push out here. You can just kind of chill around here and just lock down this so that, like, all your people can constantly come in through here. And if you get, say, a direct hit soldier in these windows, or a sniper in these windows, or a demo man in these windows, then all of their usual defensive positions become rather hot. Like, the gun, like, if you're controlling this area and their gun's over there, there's no reason for their gun to stay alive. Like, it should just die. Like, you've got snipers, you've got soldiers, you've got all kinds of bullshit putting pressure on it. What I'd say as heavy, don't try and, like, ding the gun from long range from here. You'll be doing fuck all damage to it, and yeah, you'll just end up, like, weakening yourself. Like, once you've taken this area, that's actually a win for you, and you can just control it. You can peek out of the door down there, like, because, I mean, unless they go across the top or jump up behind you, no one's going to be coming behind you. And again, if you're coming out of here, you've got the health packs over there. They're going to want to be defending this area, and it's going to be much more difficult you coming out here. If the cart's moved along quite a bit, you can just move onto the cart really quick. So, yeah, like, holding this area is really nice. Failing that, if you come out of that side and manage to take the flank out over here, if that's where you're attacking, you try and bombard the sentry gun from on the floor, then that can work too. Yeah, what else to think about this point? You shouldn't ever really be using this house over there. That's for flankers and classes who move really fast, and yeah, it's just, yeah, not so good for heavy, essentially. Okay, attacking this point. This is a actually weird point to attack, because things can get very messy. Coming through this side and getting in close with an Uber is always quite nice if you can get through the door in there. Let me just go around to where you would be coming out. Man, moving around, like, just looking at the walls and not turning reminds me of GoldenEye. It's old school. Where's this door? I should be... Why aren't I... Oh, is it locked? It's fucking locked. God damn it. Okay, so, yeah. Coming through this room here on attack can be nice. It depends how, like, far forward their defense is. Like, if they have a flank, like, if their combo is, like, holding that top area, like I was talking about earlier, and their flank is kind of into this corridor up here, then it can be very, very awkward coming through here, because you won't even manage to, like, kill enough of their people. If you go through there and get the gun, that's always nice. I don't tend to use this drop down area too much unless you're going to Uber in directly, just because this is one of those places that once you drop down from this hatch opening up, you're kind of completely committed, and yeah, a little bit dodgy. Like, there's no way out apart from through this really small little choke. One thing not to be underestimated for heavy is if they're crumbling under a big attack, getting in really close, and, like, if you manage to get under here, you can actually do a lot of damage. If the gun's down here, you can almost certainly edge it from one of these corners. That's worth a look. if you are attacking and taking control of those top corridors to rain down hell upon the enemy, then again you kind of want to do that by controlling the area as opposed to directly attacking yourself from there. So you know, you're very much working as part of the combo, and so if you've got people spamming from those top windows onto their combo and their gun that's down there, don't worry too much about adding to the spam. Worry much more about protecting them and keeping a lockdown on that area. Once you've taken this point, this is very, very rushable. If you can manage to get to up here before their defense is appropriately set up on 4th, then you can like get the cart like all the way up here before you have any defense at all. And I think this is actually the strongest hold in the game. So yeah, like capturing this is really big. I'd say if you're going to peek over just to lock down this area, this right side is a lot nicer. You've got a much better field of fire here. You won't be open to quite so many people shooting you. The temptation is to go on this side because that's where the cart is. I haven't had as much success over here, mainly because I think you're just a bit more out in the open, a bit more spammable. People can get you on a better of an angle coming up the ramp and stuff, so yeah, not as cool. Hopefully someone else should be pushing the cart around this tree. If you have to, you can, but you know, yeah, whatever. What else about attacking this point? Okay, if they've got it properly set up, then you're going to find it very difficult. What you're going to be doing is, okay, don't go over into that building. It's not going to work out well for you unless they've got a lot of people holding really close in that building. Okay, so let's just have a look at, like, say you take that building and you're heavy and you're pushing out of these doors. It's essentially like, where are you going to go from here? You know, like, look at the distances. Yeah, like, look at the distances that you're dealing with here. It's way too far for you to get any damage. Likewise with these windows, you're going to be doing fuck all damage and you're going to get shot. So this house, it can kind of look like a good idea, but it is really not. I mean, unless they're doing something like, you know, their combos holding like close here and you can flank them or whatever, but yeah, the house is a great place to die. Essentially, what you want to be doing is waiting for the big push from your team, and you're not the one to lead this. Wait till a pick has happened or something's gone down, which means you can attempt to rush this region up here, either with the cart or without the cart. There's like this, you can run up, go out, get to here, try and come around and get close to this area. Once you're kind of up here, what you want to do is don't think about attacking beyond here. Like, if you can control this area and maybe even come to here and be shooting down on people, this is a really nice bit of cover to kind of lock this down. Well worth a look. But yeah, this like area is where you're fighting and this is where you're controlling. Because once this is your team's space, you really should be able to cap it. And there's not a great way for them to attack this space. They might get people up on there, but tricky. And in general, they're going to be coming from the low ground down here, which your demo should be able to spam stuff down onto. And yeah, like once you've got this area, it should pretty much be done. Okay, so ding ding, cart gets capped there. Attacking last. With last, there are a lot of options. I'm just wondering how I'm going to jump up there with one hand. Going in through that window is a good one. You can even come around the back here, although this is a bit slow for heavy, but this can be quite nice cover. Let me just get up here. Yeah. Again, on attack, you kind of want to be locking down vaguely the same area that you were on defense. Like, it seems to hinge on like controlling this top area. If the attackers control this top area, then the defensive position out here is suddenly looking quite weak. If the attackers hold this top area, then you have to attack from the trench and it's really difficult. So, from either up there or over here, you're going to try and battle your way into this top area. The nice thing about fighting into this top area is you won't be getting shot at by the sentry gun. So it's going to be combo versus combo stuff, or you might just be up against flankers or whatever. Coming to windows and shooting down the gun is plausible, but again, you won't be putting in that much damage. So, like, if someone else is focusing the sentry gun, then sure, focus the sentry gun with them. If no one else is focusing the sentry gun, just don't bother. You're just wasting your time and wasting ammo, and you can be doing more work elsewhere. Yeah, so going to these windows, shooting people and just like starting to make their defense like problematic. It looks like the Rangers here are quite mid-rangey. They're just sneaking into mid to close, and in fact, if you're just doing dings from up here, you're kind of weakening the defenders to an extent where they really won't want to stay there. I mean, this is, for heavy on this point, because of where the gun will be, don't so much think about jumping in and getting really close and doing the really big dynamic plays. Once you've kind of got this top area, for you it's like a war of attrition. You hold this area, you pressure them on their last point. You, like, NGs will be trying to build up guns and you'll be like shooting the guns as they're building and such. But don't commit to this area out there, because, I mean, okay, so if you're in this corridor up here, and like the corridor at the side, and even up here, just like pressuring them, then they're going to get squeezed, they're going to lose people, and eventually you'll get the cap. If, say, you jump in and commit and try and start chasing people and getting really close, you don't want to be in the middle of this area. There's nowhere really to go from here. There's going to be people all around you and it's a good place to die. So this is very much one of those ones where you take the space and just let things take their natural course, and you should like get the point capped. Just by, you know, squeezing the enemy, essentially. Think of it like a slow push or something. Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's any particular cover abuse. Again, be aware of the jumping out windows and stuff. Like dropping down is always a plausible action. One thing I would say is if the gun is down and like you're going on a last-ditch push, then this route from below to the top right is really nice. Coming out of here is heavy. You've actually got a surprisingly large amount of cover, and then even once you're out, you've got moderately good cover off these things, and you can do a lot of damage from here. But this all depends on if you control this area down here. If your team controls this area and you're like pushing onto the final ditch effort, then that's great. But I mean, if they've got a gun at the lip of the pit there, then you're not going to have very much fun attacking from here at all, and you can't really push here. Could you rush through here with an Uber? Possibly. You'll start getting shot from here. You should be able to make it into here. It's not great. I'd go other routes in general. Like the pit here is not a great place for a heavy to be at all. Yeah. I think that might be it for Swiftwater. Any questions? I assume I have described so well.
On defense,
So, yes.
if you're holding something like one area and they're coming from another, like from the flank, like on third point.
Third point. Okay, let me get to third point now.
Just for example.
Okay, yeah. For example. Okay, well,
Or what? It could be shown here. Like if they're coming, if you're holding here,
yeah.
and they're all coming from there,
Yeah.
you're supposed to rotate, right? You're supposed to kind of move a bit.
Where are you going to go to successfully stop people coming from here? Are you going to come to this rock and defend? Okay, so with this one, it'll largely depend where the cart is. Excuse me. If they're pushing hard from over there, and the cart is down there, then fuck them. They're going to push out of there. They're going to kind of... Okay, so assuming your gun is in the sweet spot and can actually like shoot over to that side a bit, it's like, what are they actually going to achieve over here? They're going to fight their way onto this open ground, and unless they get huge amounts of frags on your guys, who hopefully you'll be playing defensively, they're kind of out in a bad area to be. Like, there's no cover over there. There's no good point to hold, and you should have your guys like, you know, you should have a sniper up there. Like, he's going to be raining death down upon them. You're going to have, you know, your soldier and scout playing around here and however they want to play it. That's going to be very awkward for them. If they're coming out that right side and the cart's here, then yeah, you stay where the fuck you are and you hold the cart, because if the cart's not moving and they're over there, I mean, you can ding them and stuff, but that's not where their team needs to be. Now, say the cart is over here and they're all pushing out of this side. Geez, at that point, I think it might be time for you to just chill back here and see if it caps or see if their attack peters out. So for you to commit to stop that, to get into decent range, you're going to have to come over to this side, to this rock, which puts you in quite a dodgy position if you think about it. Like, being this far out, you know, there's no good retreat. If they've got a sniper kind of back on that side, then things are getting a little bit dodgy. I mean, it depends where your team is, but like, I mean, if say like they're pushing out in force and the cart's here, support your team, but don't like commit 100%, because that would occur to me to be a great circumstance where you might die, and then that gets capped, and they're going to try and rush the final point, which would be awkward.
Okay.
With other points, it very much depends. For third point, I think rotating is a very good idea, depending on where they're attacking from and where you are. I mean, you want to, say you've got Uber, you want to be containing them in a choke point somewhere, Uber to Uber. So there's Peter's outs first, because they had to pop first. Although, I mean, again, it very much depends. This third point is actually really weirdly fluid. You sometimes get these weird situations where, like, the defenders have taken a hold in that building there, and the attackers have kind of come round and got to here. But I mean, again, like, the point, because it's quite low down and quite vulnerable, the defenders up there can rain down like some pretty effective death on it. Essentially, this point is quite DMy, I think. Like, I mean, rotating to get your combo in their combo's face is great. But yeah, it's going to very much come down to who wins those fights. And if you're on defense, you want to be like constantly thinking that, yes, I can just retreat and get back to other people of my team. Yeah, what I'd say is, yes, rotate with your combo, be very versatile in your defense. Good comms is what's going to do it. Like, keeping your flank up on defense and like keeping your spy up so they can call where people are coming from is what's going to win or lose this point for you. Because if your guys have moved to the right place where they're trying to come through a choke there, then they're going to do very badly. If your guys haven't moved to that right spot, then you're probably going to, yeah, things won't go well for you. Does that answer your question? Does that make sense?
Let's say we're holding here with heavy and all that stuff.
Whereabouts are you?
Like here. I'm at that moment.
Okay, yeah, you're holding where exactly? What, up there?
If we are holding there or there.
Okay.
We lost our flank there. We don't have a flank, and they're all coming from there.
Okay, so wait, you're here. Where are they coming from? They're all coming from up there.
Go a bit there, or just wait for them to come.
I personally wouldn't try and cross up to get in their face collectively. Okay, so the problem about crossing up here would be you really don't want to be down in that area, because that's a great place to get sniped from over there.
Okay.
Spam can come in from above. Like, the time that you want to cross up to that area over there is when you've kind of got a bit of time to get set up. If, say, just the combo's up, they control that area up there, I'd either hunker down somewhere, like stay behind these if you think you can be safe, or actually fighting low down here is actually pretty effective. Like, if it's a last-ditch cart defense, like if they're up top, you can defend from the sides here without presenting like great target to them. Like, these kind of areas under the point are actually pretty good heavy playgrounds.
Yeah,
you know,
good.
like you've got good cover here, and what's also really big is you've got a great line of retreat. Like, okay, say they've got a lot of their team up and you don't have much of your team up, your flank's down and they're pushing hard, you can just run like fuck back into spawn, and as long as you get in there before the point caps, you can just readjust to point 4. What I would say about defending this point is you don't want to let them rush it. Like, point 4 out here is I think the biggest hold on this map. Like, you can just get a complete and utter lockdown defense on this if you do it well. So don't waste that opportunity.
Yeah, because forward spawns like really forward.
Yeah, exactly. You like this, of all the points on this map, you do not want to wipe out on this point. So if, say, a number of your team is down, like, I mean, that's the thing, like, if they're coming out of there, there's not even a great way to stop them, because, like, okay, so say they've got that corridor up there and you want to go and like take them head on and close, you're going to have to come in here and go up those, like, that winding staircase, and you're kind of attacking into a better position, which you don't ever want to be doing on defense, really. So yeah, hold down the bottom, keep people off cart, wait for your spawners, see if, like, your flank can DM it and reclaim that space. If they can't, then so be it. Pull back to fourth. It's a better hold. Yeah.
On the second,
Yes.
if you're holding on top and they're coming all there, right, like from there.
Yeah. So side passage.
Yeah.
Let me just get a chop to illustrate this. It's interesting navigating only looking one direction, because I have to have a real sense of how the level layout is. Although that's really good skills, just because it's like that whole thing of like where you're spun up and you want to know the exact location of every health pack. So say you're spun up in a heavy versus heavy fight, you want to be able to walk backwards onto the health pack perfectly to pick it up once you get full health for it. But yeah, okay, we're talking about if your combo's holding up here and they're coming out of that side passage. It depends what they're going to achieve coming out of that side passage. Like if they come out of that side passage, hopefully like your flank, who should be like chilling up here, they can just retreat back into the building a bit. And it's again one of those things of like, if they're pushing up here, what are they actually going to achieve? Like if you've got your gun covering up here and your combos up here, I mean what they need to do is get the cart through. So you don't want to let them just like set up there and get a sniper down there and lock you in here. Like I mean if a sniper comes out there, you basically as a heavy just have to chill and not do a whole lot. You can poke out the bottom door if there's a sniper there, because you've got this kind of palisade thing in the way, and from here you can like hold main with always the option of retreating back up, which is pretty nice. But yeah, what you're going to be doing is, if they come out of there, your job as heavy is to kind of hold this hard point up here and not lose it, because it should be still very, very difficult for them to cap the cart, even if they control that area down there. And you're going to have spawners coming out of there, your flank's going to be going through the building and trying to reclaim that space, so it should be awkward for them. And okay, if you don't come out of this area, they're going to have to come across and try and kill you, which makes stuff awkward for them. Like this is a very good location to defend, this is why you're set up here, so yeah. Oh, another thing I should mention is if another good hiding spot, if like they're coming out of that top flank door, I mentioned like hiding back here is an option, also hiding on this side is an option, like coming over here again, like combos can just walk out of there, and yeah there's a lot of using the stairs to come up behind them, and I've missed again, haven't I? Wait,
yeah, so
okay, here we are. This is hilarious, right? Yeah, so if their flank's coming out of there, stay away from long range classes, but don't worry about it too much. If you've got, say, your demo, medic, engineer and pyro all just chilling out in this building, then if they're coming out of there, you don't care too much. It's like, well, good for you. Our flank's going to be back up in a bit. Hopefully your demo man should be coming out, and if your demo is running across up here to get in their collective face, then you need to support him, as always, because that's kind of your job as heavy. You are like the demo man's backup.
Like usual position. That was kind of strange.
How do you mean?
We had sentry here.
Yeah.
And we were here as combo. So when they came out of there, it was kind of we had to cross.
Yeah, that's okay. The problem, I mean, okay. Here's the thing about like having the gun over there.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to stick with your NG and keep him safe. Like, if you've got the entire combo like milling around in there, spies are going to have such a hard time getting your NG. If your NG's over there, then, I mean, geez, wait. I think if your NG's over there, then you can get snipers coming out of main and like harassing your NG without your combo being able to support your NG, which is that's a problem, like direct hit soldiers can come from here and spam, and I mean I guess you can get your demo to spam from up there and stuff, but yeah, I just don't rate the gun up there as much as I rate the gun up there.
Looks like it.
But I mean people are still playing it up there, and I think even at like quite high level play you're still seeing guns up here, so don't completely discount it. I don't know, in terms of theory crafting, it doesn't occur to me to be as strong. But I mean, if you have the gun here and it can support those windows. Oh yeah, there was one really nice one, which is, say you've got your Solly and Scout kind of chilling around the flank over here. Maybe your Scout's going into the tunnels as well. Having the sniper over here is fucking hilarious. Like, because your sniper, he shoots people as they come out the fucking doors. And he can just like revolve anywhere he needs to be because he's got a Solly protecting him, so he can't get rushed. And Heavy's going to be up there protecting as well. So yeah, having the sniper like in this area, I have seen to be jolly effective. Yeah. And what was it? I'm just trying to remember what it was, the difference. I think because there used to be like you always had your hold up here with your sentry gun. I'm trying to remember what they changed about the map that made it different. Is it that side passage? I can't fucking remember for the life of me. It's changed so much over the years. But yeah.
Like yeah, at some point Heavy started holding there like all the time.
Yeah, but I think...
area.
Okay, so the first time that people did that hold, I think it was one of the Russian teams, like just did a crazy sentry gun hold up there. And yeah, it was awesome. Wait, someone's saying a barrel. There was a barrel on last that you used to be able to hide in a really stupid way.
You can still do it, I think.
Can you still do it?
Yeah, that's why it's in the UGC forum thing. Like, don't do it. Any map exploit will get your result.
Yeah, it's clearly a fucking exploit. There's a barrel on last. I thought they'd fixed it, but maybe they haven't. Where, yeah.
I think we'll just completely nullify it and give the other team a win for it.
Yeah,
I'm a
it's
UGC
clearly
admin
bullshit,
in
right?
case
I mean, yeah.
Didn't
Yeah, you can like. I think it's if you're standing on the barrel and you set off a sticky in it, your demo can get into the barrel where he can't be hit, but he can shoot out. Which is don't do it, kids. Exploits, bad news. Unless they're legal exploits, then rock up. Yeah, I think that's probably it for Swiftwater. Can you think of anything else?
Like on first point with the cave hold.
Yes.
If they kept the point and start coming from up top.
Yes. Yeah, that's an interesting one, isn't it? That's one thing about the cave hold. I mean, to a certain extent, the cave hold is a bit of an all your eggs in one basket type thing. If they are sending people round the top, then those people are not assisting to break the cave hold. So in a way, it's like it's a high risk, high reward thing. If you have the cave hold, then they can send people around, but they're not going to be as useful in breaking the cave hold. What will be the problem is, like, you're presumably going to have your sniper somewhere like here, like just making their lives a bit more difficult. And if a scout comes around the back and shoots your sniper, that's going to be awkward. So yeah, I mean, if you're going to do cave hold, then presumably you should have some flankers hanging around back here, even if it's just your scout keeping an eye on stuff and, you know, making sure what's going on. But yeah, again, the cave hold isn't brilliant. The cave hold tends not to hold that long. I honestly think having the gun set up at second isn't a terrible idea. I think it's possibly a little passive though. Like, I don't have an obvious answer to that one. I don't think there is a 100% good answer. But I think that's one of the things that makes Swiftwater quite interesting, that there's issues like that where it's a little bit up in the air, you know. There are not definitive answers. But yeah, first point is a bit of a conundrum just because there's just nowhere good to hold on it. Like, yeah, just nowhere actually works that well. I mean,
like, when would you say is the time to fall back, holding the cave?
What, if you're doing the cave hold, when is the time to fall back? Generally when the gun goes down. Because, I mean, the gun is the major deterrent. Unless the NG thinks you can rebuild and, like, you've got an Uber advantage, you can just pop out and give them enough shit that the NG has time to rebuild the gun. But the entire crux of this hold is having a sentry gun up here. Like, if you don't have the gun up, then you just don't have enough, like, oomph to keep them out. Like, so if the sniper gets back there, if you've got the gun up, then the gun can deter the sniper from sniping you from back there. And, you know, you can bring your sniper over. He might have to rotate and jump up here or whatever. But say you've just got heavy demo and medic here, suddenly their sniper becomes a massive issue, and it's something that you almost can't deal with. So yeah, as soon as the gun goes down, you kind of want to get the fuck back. But I mean, again, it's kind of like first to second is kind of similar to third to fourth on this. That like 2 and 4 are really good holds, and 1 and 3 are a little bit dodgy. Although, having said that, I've seen some very, very effective third holds. But I think the trick to an effective third hold is a disorganized attack, if you see what I mean. Like, if the attackers really know what they're doing and have really good comms and can shut down the defender's flank, then third isn't going to last that long. But if, you know, the flank on third can, you know, be very aware and always keep an angle on where people are, then, yeah, third hold can be actually pretty big. It can be very difficult. As just a general team thing, like, the big one on this map is to keep communicating and keep talking about where you're going to be pushing and such. The times that I've had third attacks falter is when your team has like failed a couple of pushes and then they just get a bit disorganized and people start just going in on their own and there's not a concerted like getting everyone together and going in. Like, what I'd say is with this map in particular, because there's so much to it, if you just wander off on your own, your team's going to lose. You need to stay solid as a unit. Like, once you spawn, you need to find out where your combo is. You need to get to your combo as fast as possible. If you're just walking around on your own as heavy, then not that useful, right? So yeah, you want to just always be aware of where your team is and not get caught out on your own, essentially. So yeah. Can anyone think of anything else to say about Swiftwater? I feel like we've been doing this for a while. Yeah, in fact, we're coming up to just over an hour. I think that's long enough for Swiftwater. Let's call it.